All right, let's talk about chemotherapy. It's always been this brutal battle fought on two fronts, right? There's the fight against the cancer, and then there's the fight against the treatment itself. Today, we're going to dig into a really fascinating idea that could finally protect patients from the worst side effects of this life saving therapy. Wow. I mean, this quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up the terrible dilemma of chemo. It absolutely saves lives, but it can come at such a huge cost to a person's body and, just as importantly, to their spirit. And that's exactly what it is, a double-edged sword. To really understand why, we need to face what we're going to call the chemo pain reality. And look, this is so much more than just feeling sick. We're talking about things like peripheral neuropathy. That's a constant, intense pins and needles nerve pain. Then there's nephrotoxicity. This is where the kidneys get so damaged that doctors might actually have to stop the treatment that's saving the patient's life. And on top of all that, you've got chemobrain, this debilitating cognitive fog that can make just getting through the day feel impossible. So, what is actually happening inside the body to cause all this damage? Let's get into the science of these side effects for a minute. Well, the main culprit is something called reactive oxygen species, or ROS for short. These are super unstable molecules that the chemo creates. The best way to picture them is as an oxidative fire. The whole point is to start this fire to burn down the cancer. The problem? That fire is really, really hard to control. And that leads us to the core problem, collateral damage. The very same fire that makes chemo so powerful against cancer is also what makes it so destructive. It just spills over, you know? It starts burning up healthy cells in the nerves, the kidneys, and the brain. And that's exactly where all those devastating side effects come from. This has been the dilemma for decades, but what if there were a way to shield the healthy cells from that fire without putting out the flames that are supposed to be destroying the cancer? This is where the whole idea of a selective shield comes into play. This chart does a fantastic job of explaining the difference. So think about normal antioxidants like vitamin C or E. They're kind of like a giant fire blanket. You throw it on, and sure, it smothers the fire, but it smothers everything. It can even end up protecting the cancer cells, which you definitely don't want. Molecular hydrogen, though, is different. It's more like a smart fire extinguisher. It precisely targets only the most toxic, out-of-control parts of the fire, the ones causing the side effects, while leaving the main cancer-killing power completely intact. So a smart fire extinguisher sounds great in theory, but how would this actually translate into a real solution? I mean, how would a patient actually use this shield? The way it's designed to work is actually incredible. It all happens in one integrated oral capsule. The patient takes the pill, and as the chemo drug inside starts to work and create that oxidative fire, these tiny magnesium-based micromotors also activate. And at that exact moment, they release a super precise pulse of molecular hydrogen right when and where it's needed to shield the healthy cells. Okay, the science is really cool, no doubt. But what does this all mean for the person who's actually going through the treatment? Well, the potential impact on their life could be absolutely profound. I mean, just look at the potential here. We're talking about a huge drop in nerve pain, way less strain on the kidneys, a much faster recovery time, but honestly, the most critical number on this whole chart might be about treatment completion. Let that sink in for a minute. Right now, so many patients can't even finish their full course of chemo because the side effects just become too much to bear. A hydrogen shield that could allow for 100% completion of the treatment cycle, that isn't just an improvement, that is a total game changer for a person's chances of survival and recovery. And that really brings us to the big idea here. This is about so much more than just a new pill. It's about a fundamental shift in how we approach cancer care. The goal here is to move from just treating the cancer to actively protecting the patient throughout the entire process. It's about making their quality of life a central part of the treatment, not just some afterthought. So, this all leaves us with a really important question for the future. We've seen how this idea of a selective shield could work, how it could fight chemo's collateral damage. But the final thought, the one that truly matters, is this. Could innovations like this finally be the key to making chemotherapy not just survivable, but actually humane?